Order 707, please. Roll call, please.
All right. Mrs. Cochran?
Here.
Mrs. Coons?
Here.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Here.
Ms. Anderson?
Here.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance over there. Sorry. Switched it up on me.
There's two flags. There's one there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I will
Yeah.
make a motion to excuse Sam Moray, who is ill.
I'll second.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you, Heather. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, council. We're looking next for a motion to accept minutes for May 1st, 2023 council meeting as presented, not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from May 1st, 2023 council meeting as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Thanks. We're looking next for a motion to accept purchase orders from April 29th, 2023 to May 12th, 2023, totaling $68,360.75 as presented and not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept purchase orders from April 29th, 2023 to May 12th, 2023, totaling $68,360.75 as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, John. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Thank you. We're looking next for a motion to accept bills from April 29th, 2023 to May 12th, 2023, totaling $450,993.80 as presented and not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept bills from April 29th, 2023 to May 12th, 2023, totaling $450,993.80 as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Laura. Thanks, Heather. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
And that included another tough $142,000 a month for the sewer, it looks like, so.
How much was that?
142,000. 142,473.02. Whew, okay. We're looking next for a motion to accept March 2023 bank reconciliation report as presented and not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept March 2023 bank reconciliation report as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, John. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Okay, we're moving into the reading of ordinances and resolutions, please.
If you're tired, you can take a Yeah.
Resolution number 7265-2023, a resolution approving Sedgwick as the third-party administrator for the Village of Lakemore workers' compensation claims. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, and State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves Sedgwick as the third-party administrator for the Village of Lakemore workers' compensation claims. Section 2, this service will be for 1 year, and there is no cost to the village. Sedgwick will be paid by the Bureau of Workers' Compensation. Section 3, it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council or any of its committees that resulted in such formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 4, this resolution is declared to be an emergency measure in the interest of the health, peace, and safety of the citizens of the Village of Lakemore. Therefore, this resolution should take effect immediately. Ordinance number 1815-2023, an ordinance to amend ordinance 1795-2022 make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Lakemore, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves to increase appropriations in General Fund $6,902 for the increase of the Love Insurance premiums. General Fund $6,000 for auditing services. Police Disability and Pension Fund 2131, $10,000 for police officers in the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. Section 2, Treasury for payments from any of the foregoing appropriations upon receiving prop certificates and vouchers therefore, approved by the board or officers authorized by law to approve the same, or an ordinance or resolution of council to make the expenditures, provided that no warrants shall be drawn or paid for salaries or wages except to persons employed by authority of and in accordance with law or ordinance. It shall be provided further that the appropriations for contingencies can only be expended upon appeal of 2/3 vote of council for items of expense constituting a legal obligation against the village for purposes other than those covered by other specific appropriations herein made. Section 3, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the Village of Lakemore, Ohio. Therefore, this ordinance shall go into effect immediately.
Thank you, Tracy. We'll move next into the mayor's report. The first item I have to report is that it's a reminder that the Lakemore Food Pantry will operate Wednesday, May 31st at Lakemore United Methodist Church from 5 to 6 p.m. And that's our traditional standard last Wednesday of the month food pantry at the church. Secondly, just 2 days later, the Springfield Friday night concert series at the gazebo is going to commence, and that's Friday, June 2nd. That's the first of the whole summer-long Friday night concert series on the Springfield side of the lake. But I would like to encourage people, if you're coming, please support the Lakemore Lions Club. The township has asked that we come and provide some concessions, and by concessions I mean pop and lemonade and water. So we will have at least one stand, maybe two stands at the Friday night concert series. So please come out and support the Lakemore Lions Club as a fundraiser for the club. We continue to do some good things in the village and township. So hopefully we'll see you on Friday nights at the concert series. And Monday, June 19th is a Rock the Docks fundraiser at Uncle Tito's. Additional details will follow. It's about a month and 4 days from today, but that is going to be a fundraiser for Rock the Docks this year, and we're thanking Tito's and the community for their support always. And as a reminder, Rock the Docks will be held this year on both sides of the lake, at least on Saturday, but the event will run from a soft opening on Thursday, the 22nd of June, and run through that Sunday. Okay, so that's what I have. We'll move on to the council report with Mrs. Cochran.
Our next council meetings will be held on Monday, June 5th, and following that, the next council meeting will be on Tuesday, June 20th. Each one of those will be at 7 o'clock, and they are held here in the community room of the high school. Please note the change is Tuesday because there is a holiday on the Monday, so it's Tuesday, June 20th. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Mrs. Coons.
What I have to report would be about the Memorial Day Parade, which is going to be Monday, May 29th at 11 a.m. this year, which is kind of it's a different time. It's always been 1, but this year we're going to do it a little bit earlier for reasons of we've had people within, the school and the kids for the band. The weather gets really hot and it's hard for the kids sometimes, so we weren't able to have the band for 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
So we really want to have Springfield back. It is such a part of our tradition. So we're gonna work and get those kids in a little bit of a cooler temperature to come back with us for the parade, which we're all excited about. The other thing is Does anybody have to contact, if we want to be in the parade? I know, did you post anything? Just Tracy? Okay.
Yeah, we have.
It's been all
It's
over
been on
the,
all
I
of
was
our
gonna
social
say-
media, and I mailed out
Okay.
invitations to everybody, I always do.
I couldn't remember the details off the top of my head, but I know I've seen it all over social media, so,
They can contact me if they need.
okay, yes, that's what I was gonna say. Contact Tracy. And that's it. That's all I have. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nikki.
We'll see you on Memorial Day.
Ms. Snyder.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Spectrum Community Channel 1023. They cover the Springfield and Lakemore area, and they're covering all the meetings live on YouTube now. They have a YouTube channel, and you can find even more community information from Channel 1023's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and blog pages online. And if you know of any activities that would be of interest, please let local government officials know. And currently, in addition to the government meetings that are coverage that are running on 1023, there's a couple of extra ones. There's Mrs. Hannah presents the Top 25 Excellence Award dinner, and that's always a good one. And this is new. They covered the Port Summit Rotary Club of Ohio four-way speech test contest, or four-way test speech contest,
Yes.
is, I should say. So we thank them for their programming. That's all.
Thanks, Ann.
Thanks, Ann.
Mr. Mallard.
Okay, first off, I'd like to congratulate Tracy and those that worked. We got the, won the grant for the sewer lines for the 6th, 7th, and Frank Street.
From Water and Roads.
Water and Roads, grant money for that, so that's gonna save us a ton. Also like to mention the community gardens are up and cleaned up. If you are interested in a plot down there, the applications are online. Or you can call the number for the municipal building, call Tracy or Tracy, or Tracy.
Pick a Tracy, mini Tracy.
Anytime, there's, I think, 16 spots available. First come, first served. Dad's been working down there, getting them all cleaned up and ready to go. Also to mention, first Saturday of the month, next month, starts our Saturday night movies at the Dodds Park. We'll be at the Pavilion. May not have refreshments, we're not sure yet. That'll all be if somebody decides to open up their own pocketbook to do so. But the movies will be there. I'm not sure what our first movie's gonna be yet. That's yet to be determined, but it will be posted on the social media when it is. And with that, I think I am done.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Ms. Anderson.
All right, I don't think we covered the next council meeting.
no,
Council
Will
meetings,
be,
council workshops.
workshops.
yeah, well, who did the council?
Yeah, Laura did the council meeting.
Oh, okay. All right, I was gonna say, wait a minute. Yes, so the next council workshop will be May 23rd and June 14th, each at 6 p.m. And we want to remind everyone that the workshops are held at the Lakemore United Methodist, the little chapel. So if you would like to attend the workshops as well. Also, we'd like to remind everyone to try to refrain from blowing leaves and other debris into the roadways, because it does have a negative effect on Springfield Lake. So we are making great progress in getting the lake back to where it should be, so we want to kind of keep it that way. Also, I would like to announce, I don't remember if I announced this before or not, Spartan Snack Pack won the Rail Charitable Organizations grant for the 2023 year. So we are super excited about that. It is going to help the program tremendously. We only have a couple more weeks, about 3 more weeks to till the end of this year. But this will give us a really big head start for next year to get us up and running. So we are super excited about that. The other thing is this Thursday, May 18th at 6 p.m., we will be at Boyer Kindergarten Center on Pickle Road. I don't know if it's still Boyer or not, or if it's just.
It's actually the preschool center, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's the preschool center,
Yeah.
but it
I
is-
think everybody around here just knows it as Boyer.
I think we all know it's Boyer.
Yeah, but at 6 p.m., we will be having our packing for the rest of the school year. So I think we only have a few weeks left to go. So if anyone would be interested in coming to volunteer to fill bags and things like that, any volunteer help we can get is greatly appreciated. So with that, I am done.
Fantastic. Anything else from anybody?
Yeah, I'd just like to bring up that the sonar units are now placed in the lake. So if you see the flashing lights at night out on the water, nobody's drowning. It's not a beacon for an emergency. It is doing they have been installed for both Springfield and Lakemore. I think there's a total of 6
There's
units.
4,
4?
because it was 2 that were attached with a cable, and both communities took and had them split off, so.
So they're out there doing their thing with the water and making the lake much cleaner as far as the algae goes. I think the test results are also posted.
Yeah, I posted the last test results that we received before we put the units in, and they were in the teens, which is terrific,
Amazing.
because before we put them in, some of the readings were in the 50s and 60s, so it's made a huge difference.
Incredible.
And then Friday, we received the results from the EPA satellite imagery, and it was they could not detect the algae, so.
Wow.
I know.
This is incredible.
This is wonderful. And
Yep,
I mean,
and we're, Lakemore and Springfield are still working in cooperation with ODNR and Ohio State University. So they're gonna have some students come up this summer and do other samples to try to determine if a lot of it's naturally recurring within itself, or that kind of thing, so.
That's
It's really
awesome.
exciting.
That's really great news for Lakemore.
It is.
That's awesome. In Springfield, I should say both.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were able to do this without any adverse effects on the ecosystem
Chemicals, I know.
and things that are in the lake, so,
That was our main
Yeah.
concern.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Or
That is
affecting our water source or anything like
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, God. Okay, I don't believe anyone's appearing before council, but,
Let me check.
do you mind? I mean,
Don't mind.
we can turn it in
Unless
anyway, right?
Brian is appearing.
I'll take it though. Yeah, I have to date it for records.
The invisible man.
Thank you. Thanks, Heather. Thanks, John. Thanks, Tracy. There you go. There you go, Megan. Okay, new business, Mrs. Cochran, and then Ms. Anderson. Go ahead, please.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 7265-2023, a resolution approving Sedgwick as the third-party administrator for the Village of Lakemore workers' compensation claims. But first, I'd like to make a motion to dispense with the 3 reads.
I'll second.
Thank you, John.
Thanks. Any discussion? Takes 5. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes,
I'll second the original.
thank you.
Thanks. Any discussion?
The reason for it being
We have to have,
dismissed, we have to have it.
we have to have a third-party administrator
and it
on
needs-
our behalf, and,
Yeah, I mean, just time
Yeah.
frame.
yeah, and we have to have it
Make sure everybody
submitted by
knows
the
this,
end
not
of
we're
the
trying
month.
to slide anything underneath the radar. It's a time frame thing and it needs to be done.
Right. Okay. Roll call, please.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes,
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Okay.
It's you.
Alrighty. I would like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 1815-2023, an ordinance to amend ordinance 1795-2022, make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Lakemore, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023. But first, I'd like to make a motion to dispense with the 3 reads.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Is there a second
I'll
on the
second the
original?
original.
Thanks, John. Any discussion, council? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any reason to go into executive session this evening?
I don't believe so.
No? Anybody? Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Okay. Roll
I'll
call, please.
second it.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. Awesome.
Couple of things. The budget.